2, 1.
Um, all right, fam. Mel's back. I'm Mel. I'm solo again. None of my friends are around. You guys are stuck being my friends. I'm going to keep forcing you to hang out with me. Sorry if you're getting sick of me. I'm not actually sorry because you could just like stop listening to this if you really hate me that much. Anyway, this is On Beat Off Script, and we're here to talk about Play by Ed Sheeran. Yeah, we're not gonna waste any time. Let's just get into it. So, for those of you who don't know Ed Sheeran, he's a 4-time Grammy-winning singer-songwriter from England, best known for his hits Thinking Out Loud, Shape of You, Perfect, Photograph, the list goes on and on and on and on. He started playing guitar and writing his own songs at a really, really early age, and he even had his first #1 hit on the iTunes chart before he had a record deal. Shortly after he signed with Atlantic Records, though, he released his major debut studio album Plus in 2011, and that became an instant hit, leading him to work with artists like One Direction and Taylor Swift. He now boasts 11 #1 hits in the UK, 6 Billboard Hot 100 hits, and 200 million records sold worldwide. And now today we're diving into his 8th studio album, Play, which was recorded all over the world and finished in India, where he actually spent a full month during the recording. Here we also get his first attempt at Persian influenced music, and he collaborated with Indian songwriters and incorporated like a lot of South Asian percussion and even a sitar, which is kind of badass. And the album also comes out after the loss of his 2 close friends, his wife's cancer scare, and a copyright trial in which the heirs of Ed Townsend, who co-wrote Let's Get It On, accused him of copying it in his track Thinking Out Loud. He did win the trial by taking the stand and performing a mashup of songs that share the similar chord sequence, which I think is pretty badass the way he pulled that off. But yeah, just it's very obvious in a lot of these songs that he was working through a lot of things, which I get. Life is hard. So we open right up with a track called Opening.
There's a time to cry, there's a time to fold, there's a time for holding on or to let it go. There's a time to run to the arms of hope, and the day bursts wild and open. I was raised by the church, choir boys still far from fizzling, not the pop star they say they prefer.
And here we start off with tenor vocals. His voice like is nearly cracking at points over like the acoustic guitar while he's singing about his like recent struggles. And then we get that subtle beat that builds up until Ed just starts popping off rapping for the rest of the verses. Personally, I've always preferred folkier Ed. But like he's got a good flow, and I can't hate on his rap game too bad. Or too much. It's not necessarily my favorite, but he's got good flow. Sorry, I really need a glass of I needed some water. Totally interrupting. Anyway, the choruses are like super sing-songy, with Ed preaching to draw a line between what's happened in the past and to stay hopeful for the future. And we kind of end the song on a really floaty way, with the line "and the day bursts wild and open," and that's like kind of just fading away, closing out on a really positive note. Which is sweet that we've started with him talking about his struggles, and now we've just ended at a point where he's like hopeful for his future, which is it's inspiring. Ed, great opening, I guess. I mean, is it my personal favorite song? No, but we're off to a decent start. That moves us into Ed comparing his wife's radiance to the shine of a sapphire in his collaboration with Indian artist Oh man, I have the pronunciation literally like the how to enunciate ran out next to it. Era Jutsing? I'm gonna hope I'm saying it close enough. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with pronunciation.
We are surrounded, but I can only see the lights. Your face, your eyes, exploding like fireworks in the sky. Sapphire, touching on your body while you're pushing on me. Don't you in the party? I could do this all week. We'll be dancing till the morning, go to bed, we won't sleep. Chumma, 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 kiss it, daddy, body.
And now here he's blending that Western pop that he's like known for with Indian musical influences, and he's even singing Punjabi on the chorus and the bridge, which is fun. Um, this one for me is my favorite on the album. I think that blend is a lot of fun. His lyrics, they're always kind of a little tacky, but there's enough going on with those like Indian influences that this just feels like very, very different from anything that he's ever done before. And I'm enjoying that. Like, and kind of excited to hear more of it. And then we transition to Persian influences here with this track Azazam. Sorry, I have an itch on my eyeball I need to take care of. But yeah, with the track Azazam, translating to my dear, my darling.
I wanna be nowhere but here with you now. I wanna be one in this space. I wanna be tangled and wrapped in your cloud. I wanna be close to your face. Tomorrow can wait. Freezing time in this place till the sun is away. Like a magnet on me. I don't care what they say. We can do it our way. And if love's just a game, then come and play.
And now in an interview, Ed mentioned that a lot of Persian rhythms, scales, melodies, and instruments share similarities to like traditional Irish music that he grew up with. And I'm assuming that my super, super naive ear can't pick up any of those Persian influences because of that, other than the actual Persian word azazam. So it's like, I hate to say that it's completely lost on me because that's totally my fault, but those influences are lost on me. Regardless, this is still kind of a bop. Like I'm still enjoying the vibe here with this one. Now that moves us into Old Phone, which we actually covered on episode 9's Track Attack, so I'm not going to do a deep dive on that. But here we do get a return to Ed's like debut sound from Plus, which kind of balances really well with the nostalgia he's feeling from going through this old phone. But it feels like a time capsule that we just went back 7 albums, which I don't know, kind of fun. Not mixing with what we've done so far though. Like I wasn't expecting like an Indian and Persian influence bop to now go back to OG Ed Sheeran. But he switches that back up again on us with Symmetry, and now that opens back up with that Indian percussion that, we've been kind of like vibing with. And the intro is actually sung in Hindi.
Keep me awake till darkness turns into day. Here, I don't care about time. Just give me your night. We're making a painting, candlestick or 2 faces. Put your heart into mine. Just give me your night. Symmetry. Symmetry.
And now his vocals here and his songwriting, I think, are like always pretty solid for Ed Sheeran. Like I think you know what you're getting with him vocally and lyrically. But the Indian influence here make the song for me, and this ends up becoming like another top track for me. Unfortunately, I know I'm saying this pretty early on, but this is like kind of almost the last time I have fun on this album, and like we're not even halfway through. Bringing us the camera, and here we're back admiring his wife, which is, it's cute. It's really adorable. But I just feel like it's been done a million times before, like, and a million times before by Ed, even. Like, I don't know.
You're frozen in motion, a perfect picture in a frame. Some visions don't ever fade. I don't need a camera to capture this moment. I'll remember how you look tonight for all my life. When everything is black and white, your colors exploding. There's something in the way you shine. I don't need a camera when you're in my eyes.
Now, I do love how raw his vocals get at points, and this is probably one of my favorite vocal performances from him. But this track for me marks a shift where it feels like he's pandering to the wedding industry. And I can't fully blame him because it's such a lucrative industry to pander to, but it does absolutely nothing for me. And it's just so tacky. I like can't get over how tacky this one is. Which brings us to In Other Words. And I I don't have any notes for this one because we're still continuing with that wedding pandering. So I'm just gonna play a clip for you so you can hear it for yourself, and we're gonna move on. I have like nothing to say about this track either. These have been big misses for me.
Give me all your fears. Give me all your dreams. Give me all you're scared to lose. Give me all your future. Give me all your blues. In other words, give me all of you.
But we get a little glimmer of hope with a little more. And we see like this very soulful shift into like an R&B vibe.
They will all be dead between now and then. I never want to see you again. I used to love you. Now every day I hate you just a little more. Life got better when I lost you, but every day I hate you just a little more and more and more. Blame it on your history and say it's not your fault. I can't call you crazy, 'cause you could be diagnosed. Oh, I used to love you, but every day I hate you just a little more.
We do get Ed rapping here again, but we get some cool brass. The line "I can't call you crazy because you could be diagnosed" actually kind of made me LOL. And now this song here gave me a little bit of hope for the rest of the album because we were doing different things. We were having fun again. It doesn't last that long. The fun doesn't last long. We move on to Slowly, which we go back to classic Ed vocals over an acoustic guitar, which I don't hate. I don't hate it. It's just he does it all the time. He does it all the time. I feel like I've heard this song a million times before.
I'm dying alive every time that you leave, 'cause a life without you's not one I want to live. Kill me slowly, kill me slowly. No, I'll see you again. That don't mean it don't sting. This is knife in the heart, love that we've fallen in. Kill me slowly, kill me slowly.
Now, this one for me is actually like kind of heartbreaking knowing that his wife had a cancer scare. Unlike the other love songs, this one feels more authentic to me, which is a breath of fresh air. And I will give him some bonus points for a solid buildup. Um, but it still feels, even though this is kind of in my list of liked tracks, it still just doesn't feel new. It doesn't feel like we had so much fun with those Indian influences earlier, and I don't know why we just completely threw them to the side. I don't know. Like, I don't I why are we going back to Ed Sheeran 11 album or 8 albums ago? I just I don't I thought we were past this. And now we move on to a collaboration with producer Fred again with Don't Look Down. And now we do switch things up a little bit, adding a house vibe while bringing back some of those Indian influences.
Will it get better? There's nothing left. It was forever. So what is next? Used to be heaven. Lost grip, then fell. Now we're speeding to the ground. It's almost over. Don't look down. It's almost over. Don't look down.
And now that fading away to nothing seems like a perfect way to embody how he must have been feeling, coping with everything happening in his life. And while repetitive, it kind of works for a house song. And I think that adds to this overwhelming feeling that he's like stuck and he can't do anything. He's feeling kind of helpless. And this, in comparison, again, to the rest of the album, was kind of like a breath of fresh air to me because we shifted and we mixed things up again. And then just while we were having fun again, we're forced back into slow dancing at a tacky reception hall with The Vow.
I need you to know that beyond to have and know that my vow to you is to love you and never let go. We've been through hurt, but I thank the broken road that led me into your arms. And my vow to you is to love you and never let go.
I don't know. It's fine. He sounds fine. I love that he loves his wife as much as he does, but I'm just like, I'm so over this. Like, I'm so over this. I'm just over it. I'm over the sound. I'm over the subject. I need him to move on from this. And just in case you didn't realize how committed he was to his wife in the last song, we get For Always, which I'm going to just play you a clip. And I'm not going to say anything else about it because at this point, I just am like begging the album to end.
I'm forever, I'm for always, from your first breath till my last day. Whether I'm by your side or 1,000 miles away, I'm forever, I'm for always.
And that finally brings us to Heaven, our final track.
Hold me in your arms, dance with me and sway as the sun closes on the beautiful day. I can see you now, and though so much has changed, I'm falling in love all over again. Silence. There is so much said inside this silence. Some things just can't be explained by science.
And here, I like the vocal filtering that he starts to play with. And I'm so thankful it's an upbeat love song, at least, to end on. But then verse 2 actually made me fucking mad because endorphins and hormones can explain the way you feel about your wife, and it can be explained by science. Like, I don't think this is irrational rage, and I'm sure listening to this after Algernon doesn't help because a song referencing heaven trying to dismiss science fucking pisses me off. Like, I literally fucking I can't do it. The subject matter loses me completely, and I actually end really fucking mad. And this was an awful way for the album to end for me. And my only good note is about it is that I am glad that Ed Sheeran at least seems like he's in a better place mentally for himself. So like that's sweet. But I'm over your album. So that brings us to closing notes. That was a really fast review because I don't I did not have nearly as much to talk about on this one. Okay, so closing thoughts. While this was very well produced and technically unflawed, play felt super, super flat for me, and it just felt like he was playing it way too safe. It started off with some solid solid bops, and experimentation. I loved the cultural influences, and I hope that really inspires others to follow suit with similar collaborations. But like even those felt safe to me. Like it was still overwhelmingly Western pop with just like new percussion. Then it I don't know. But again, the genre blending was cool. But after that, the album just becomes a cocktail hour playlist, and I just can't wait for it to be over. There's a few gems mixed in there with a little more, and even slowly I give a pass to. But it's just not enough to save the back half of the album for me at all. And like overall, I can only say I like 6 out of the 13 songs, and that's like a like. I don't love anything on this album at all. Not the only thing that really fully stood out to me is maybe Sapphire. Yeah, I don't know. A little more might end up being actually one of my top favorites also, but like at that point in the album, I was so over it that I feel like I also couldn't fully appreciate it all. My score for this album, I'm just giving it a 5.0. I was really, really thankful to be done with it, and that's it for Ed Sheeran. You know, he's Ed Sheeran. He's going to keep making music that's safe for radio and that panders to just like a really vanilla audience. And that's cool. It's making him a lot of money. So who am I to fucking say it's bad? But here I am saying it's bad. Anyway, that's it for me. Yeah, let me know if you agree with me or not in the comments. Um, I'm gonna pretend that Brandito would agree with me on this one. I think he would. But you know, maybe back me up a little bit or tell me why I'm a fucking asshole. I'm down for either. I just like to find out what y'all are thinking. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully next time we record on, I believe we're recording, let me look at my calendar. I should have probably prepped this. I believe next time we're recording is on the 27th for a Monday, the 29th drop. Hopefully I have some friends again by then. If not, you might get me talking to myself into my microphone again. But either way, hope to see you next time. Mwah!
3, 2, 1.